Today I'll be demonstrating how to frame out your window when finishing a basement. What's going on? Welcome to today's video. My name is Colton, and today I'll be demonstrating one way that you can frame out a window when you're trying to finish your basement. Now this is a new build, unfinished basement. What I actually did was just framed up everywhere. So making the measurements and the cuts specifically for framing out a window beforehand didn't slow me down. So then I go back and I make the special cuts around the window, and it works out pretty well. All the tools that I use within this video will be down below in the description. And the time that it took me to frame out this specific window, measuring, cutting, nailing, and everything was probably about 20 to 30 minutes. So let's get started. Here's the wall that I framed that went up pretty quick, and now I need to frame out the window. You can use this approach when you want to put up walls quickly without having to make special measurements and a lot of planning for your window. You can just visually see it and then cut around it and then frame it out. This approach works really well if you have a cement ledge into your window, and I'll show you what I mean later. So you'll see a lot of this dried spray foam around your window for insulation and closing gaps. I took my razor blade, cut off all the bubbliness, and made it level with the window and the cement, and do it to all four sides. Next, grab a level, put it at the corner of the cement and your actual window, or on the cement windowsill ledge if you have it. Make sure it is level and make a mark on the closest stud that you're going to keep next to the window. Do this to all four corners of your window. Next, grab your square, line it up with that line that you just made, and draw a line on two of the three sides of the stud that you can see. Do the same thing to all four corners, and you'll want to put an X marking where the stud is going to go. If you're doing the top two, put an X above this line, and then if you're doing the bottom two, put an X below your line. This is where your stud is going to go, and you don't want your stud to be in the way of your window. You want to frame it out. Next, I took my level, copied this line across all the studs, and then measured down from each one of those marks 1.5 inches, and then made another mark to take into account the thickness of the 2x4 that I'm going to be framing out. You'll see how this all visually comes together in a second. I repeat the same process for the top. Now I took my circular saw, and I'm going to cut on the line where I measured that an additional 1.5 inches. So this cut should be below your window if it's at the bottom, and the cut should be above your window if it's on the top. And knowing that a circular saw only cuts so far, I grabbed my reciprocating saw to finish the job, and I find that it's easier to cut through the bottom ones entirely first and then move to the top ones. Now measure out the length of the stud that you need to fill this area, and I use a 2x4, but may have been better to use a 2x6 to really close up that gap between the framed wall and the window. Place this board on top of the cut pieces that you did earlier, grab your level, set that on top, and take your measuring tape and go beyond where you're framing. And if you maintain a 16-inch spacing between your studs, briefly mark every 16 inches on this stud, so then you know where your lower ones that you cut should align with. Take your nail gun, nail on the sides, nail on the tops, and do that to every stud. Do this exact same thing for the top. Now measure out the length of 2x4 that you need for the left and right side of the window. Make a mark where you need to place your board so it doesn't cover the actual window. Get that all set up in a line. Use a level if you have to, and nail it down. Again, I like to use 4 nails, 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom, and now you're done. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. If you liked what you just watched, go ahead and hit this button to subscribe so you don't miss out on future project and how-to videos that I have coming up. And be sure to click this link so you go check out previous how-to videos that I've completed in the past. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.